Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Kripal. I'm from IAC Consultants. We are back live again today. Uh, Before we start, I would like to apologize. Actually, this session was supposed to be done live today. However, since I had some other engagements for 3 p.m. on Saturday, so I've recorded this session already yesterday, and you probably would be seeing a recorded video today instead of me being live. We have planned few more live sessions in upcoming weeks which we will be doing. That will surely be done live. As of now, just because of some prior engagements, I have to probably we have to play the pre-recorded videos instead of doing a live session. Today's topic which we have decided to discuss upon is about F1 visa interview and how to ace it and how to do well at the visa interview and get successful. Before I go ahead and start, I would just like to tell you how is the current scenario when it comes to US F1 visa interviews. Right now, the US visa approval rate, it's very encouraging, very encouraging to say the least, at least. Visas are getting approved thick and fast. At this point of time, we as an organization are experiencing a visa success rate of 100%. So we really hope and pray that this continue. All the students who are in the process of going and appearing for the interview should all get successful outcome of their visa interview. I will take a moment and congratulate all the students who got their F1 visa approved recently. And then I would also like to wish all our students who will be attending F1 visa interview in upcoming months. I would like to wish them all the best for the same. There are some students who have admits or who are still in the process of applying for fall, or the people who are still not clear whether to go ahead or not. They are still not sure about which country to target. I suggest that US for fall intake, still there are plenty of universities which are accepting applications. So many of our students, when they see these visas coming in and when they see students sharing their experiences over the internet, what they feel is that the US visa interview, the way it is going, it looks very easy from the outside, which is true. I agree with them. It is looking very easy right now. So many students who did not apply for fall due to COVID and were thinking that we will apply once the situation improves are experiencing a phenomenon which is called FOMO, F-O-M-O. It's called fear of missing out. They think they missed out on an opportunity in which visa approval rate is great, but still they did not apply, and now they'll be applying for next intake, which is spring. See, we don't know how will be the visa approval rate in spring, but we expect it to be good. But we can't say it with a lot of conviction whether it will be same as what we had in fall right now. So things might change. But right now, we can't say that. I'm just predicting that things might change. It might not change. If it does not, it's good for us. From our experience of recruiting students for so many years now, what we experienced is that US visa interview season, F1 visa interview season. When I mean by interview season, I mean usually for fall intake, people start going for visa in the month of May and they keep on going up till July, in some cases August as well. In these 3 to 4 months, what we experience is there are usually 3 phases in US visa interview. First phase is the one which we are right now. It's called flood phase. It's like a flood. Anybody and everybody who is going for visas are getting approved. In our region also, when we look at other agencies or consultancies who have been posting their visas, and when we're talking to them, getting their feedback, what we can safely say is that everybody is experiencing a visa success rate of more than upwards of 90% right now. Then usually there is a next stage which is usually in a flood phase. What we see is that visa approval rates are in the upwards of 90%. Then the next stage is a very moderate phase. Moderate phase is the one in which we experience a visa approval rate up to 70 to 80%. And then there is a bad phase in which we see visa approval rate drops to up to 50% also. So when students now reading the experience of other students, sometimes it's quite obvious, and it's easy for them to be a little complacent about the visa interview. I understand that, but I would still say that you always prepare for a US F1 visa interview, keeping the bad phase in mind. Okay. Now, a lot of students who are reading other students' experiences, where they say visa interviews lasting only for a couple of minutes, in some cases 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes, not more than that. assuming a student who keeps that in the mind and prepares for the visa interview, and what if the visa officer over there starts asking them more questions, start grilling them more, they start to panic, they start to fumble, and then they miss out on an opportunity of getting the visa approved, and they do get rejected. So what I'm saying is that don't be complacent. The only solution to this is prepare, prepare, prepare. No other shortcut. Okay. So if you prepare well and you put in at least 10-20 hours of work in preparing for your visa interview, I don't think you will face any kind of disappointment when you go for a visa interview. You'll be prepared for the worst. So if it's a flood phase or a moderate phase, you have a high chances of getting your visa approved as compared to anybody else who has not put in that hard work and has not prepared accordingly. Again, only thing which I would say is that don't be complacent and spend as much time as you can preparing. Don't overdo it, but don't go under prepared also. When we for example, once you get an post-admit process for US F1 visa also can be divided into two categories. First would be pre-visa formalities, and the second one would be the actual interview, the day when you go and attend the interview. So in pre-visa formality, once you get an admit, what we usually do, a student is expected to pay their savings fees, then they are expected to fill their DS-160, they need to raise a CGI request, visit an Axis bank, pay for the interview slot, book their slot, arrange their documents in a proper order, and then practice at least 2 to 3 times with either your consultant who is preparing you for the interview, or any of your friends or relative or a family member who is helping you prepare for your visa interview. Do at least 1 or 2 rounds of mock interview with your documents, with your file, because sometimes as we see now that interview slots usually are only for 2 minutes or 4 minutes. If in case a visa officer, now as of now they are not asking you to produce any documents, what if they ask you for a certain document and you take at least 30 seconds or 40 seconds to pull that out of your file? That creates a negative impact on your interview, because they feel that you are not properly prepared. Versus a student, I've seen many of our students, when we are preparing for them for the interview, the last one round of interview is done usually with their documents in their hand, because I make them practice in a way that it should be very close or very similar to what they would experience over there when they actually go and attend the visa interview. So we practice and we prepare them in a way that most of them are getting a positive outcome for their visa. A student who organizes their file properly with proper sticky post-its and all, and mark it properly so that whenever something is asked they can produce it immediately, is very helpful. So arrange your documents in order and practice 1 or 2 rounds with the documents and see how well you are doing during that. One more thing which I have experienced during preparing students for the interview is that when a person is talking to you without a mask or with a mask, there is a lot of differences what we see. So sometimes, I suggest students to prepare, because when they're coming to office, they're talking to us and they're not wearing a mask at times, and we're preparing. The sound quality or the way you're talking changes a little when you're wearing the mask. So practice at least 2 or 3 rounds while wearing the mask rather than just doing it without a mask. US visa interview are it's a very formal occasion, okay? So you can't be casual about it, okay? So you prepare accordingly. Most of your answers should not be too long. They should be brief, but they should cover the complete question. Or you should answer in a way that whatever is being asked in the question is covered in that. Answer should not be too long. It should be very brief and very carefully crafted answer. That is why we say that it's very important for you to prepare. You need to mince your words wisely, because sometimes when you speak a lot, it might not work in your favor. Answer is short, crisp, and in a way that you are able to answer the concerns or the objections raised by the visa officer at the time of your interview. Most of the interviews, whether it's a visa interview or a job interview, what I understand is that you are doing nothing but you're trying to sell yourself actually. So by selling yourself, what I've seen smart people do is that they do well in these kind of interviews because they know how to camouflage themselves. By this I mean that every person on this planet Earth has some strengths and some weaknesses. It's about you highlighting your strengths and hiding your weaknesses during these kind of interviews, or in other aspects of your life as well. A smart person is one who knows when to act and how to act. If they are smart enough to highlight their strengths and hide their weaknesses, it will 100% work for them. Now, usual set of questions again. What they are asking these days, I'm just sharing what is happening right now, is that they are asking about the course, the university, the course components, and usually they are also asking about your future career plan, but not in all the cases, but in some cases they are asking. So you better be prepared for all those answers well in advance. At times, what we have also experienced is that when it comes to your financials, okay, usual questions are why this university, why this course, have you compared this with other universities, how many other universities you applied during this time. So all those things they will ask you, so you should have done all those research and you should be ready with that actually. So prepare accordingly. When it comes to your financials, they are now asking, they are usually not asking, but now they are asking about what profession is your sponsor involved in. I'm assuming they are asking this because they want to understand if your sponsor, who is willing to pay for your education and living in US for the 2 years, does he or she has a stable source of income, is what they are trying to see. So if in case you are asked this question, be better prepared with this answer in depth, because they are asking this. They are asking about your sponsor's annual income, so better be prepared with that. As of now, I don't know, it's because of COVID or whatever may be the reasons, they are not taking any documents in hand from the students. They are just purely relying upon the way student is answering. If the student is confident enough, they are not asking for any kind of documents. That does not mean that you should not carry your documents. You should carry all the required documents as advised by your consultant or by following the guidelines issued by US border agencies. You should follow that actually and prepare your file accordingly and carry all your documents with them. I'm just saying that due to COVID or could be some other reason, they are not asking for any documents as of now. They are purely relying upon the way you answer the question. So the bottom line here is, if you are someone who prepares well for the interview, you should have a proper combinations of pre-visa formalities and then preparation for your visa interview. If you do these two things properly, this will 100% lead you to success. So once again, I would like to wish all the best to the students who are planning to go for visa interview in upcoming months. Applications are still open for fall and for spring both. If in case you are still in the process of planning, we believe that upcoming couple of years would do great when it comes to US education. So make the most of this once in a lifetime opportunity and cash in on that. I would like to end the session here. I'm from KPHB branch of IAC. We have 6 fully functional offices in EP and Telangana. In case you want to meet me personally, you can come and meet me at the KPHB office. I'm available from 10 to 6 every day, Monday to Saturday. You can also contact me if in case you want to talk to me over the phone or connect with me on WhatsApp. My number is 772 7891. Today, one of our student got his visa approved for University of Houston. He was part of a gang, about 4 or 5 students together processing through us. Other 2 people in the gang who went for the interview, their interview was pretty simple. It was just a couple of minutes interview. I told this guy, don't prepare for visa interview based on your friend's experience, because everyone is a unique case. Now this student, his name is Raj Shekhar actually. He is from mechanical background. Then there was a gap of 3 to 4 years. Now he is applying for data science program at University of Houston main campus, which is very competitive. However, he got the admit, he went for visa, and instead of interview which is for 2 years, 2 minutes or 4 minutes, most of the cases, his interview went up more than 10 minutes actually. Since he was very well prepared, we worked closely and we prepared him well, and our counselor should be given credit for that, and also the students simultaneously, because you are prepared to put in the hard work. Today his visa got approved and we are very happy about it. Any which ways, this is where I would like to end the session, and we'll be coming back live again on Tuesday. This time we will be doing a session on UK and what is the importance of selecting the right course to go and study in UK, and why it is, again, like I did a session again, I still feel that, you know, after US, if there is a destination which is really good and our students from this region should target, is UK. So we will be doing another session on Tuesday about importance of selecting the right course in UK, and then another session we'll be doing on Wednesday next week. This time it will be about Canada, the changes which has recently taken place when it comes to Canadian education, your journey towards Canada, what are the changes now and what you have to understand, that I'll cover on Wednesday. That's all for this session as of now. Until then, until we meet again, thank you and take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Bye.